personal growth to business, it's time to reimagine banking. Centenary Bank, our bank.
Welcome to our Monday's edition of Press Review right here on Luntha TV. Today being the 16th of October in the year 2023. It is yet another day and another time where we take you through some of the stories that are appearing in our newspapers. And today with me, Tambi Mara and my colleague
Charity Echilani.
Good morning, Charity. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm right, thank you.
Thank you.
You want to start?
Yeah, I will be taking through the Nation newspaper, and on the front page, Chakwela instills hope, salutes mothers, and partly the story says President Plazas Chakwela says God has not forsaken the country amid myriad challenges, but surely that there is a reason God is allowing such misfortunes to happen. Chakwera, a former president of the Assemblies of God, said this yesterday at a Living Waters Church service of prayer in Monkey Bay, Mangochi district. He said sometimes the goodness of God might not be seen, but it does not mean that he has forsaken Malawi, a country which he still loves.
Okay, on the third page of the Daily Times, the headline here reads Education for Malawi's Elite. And part of the story reads that the 2022 Education Statistics Fact Sheet has revealed that the gap in the quality of education offered to children from rich and poor backgrounds is widening, a development that threatens to dilute education's leveling effects. According to the statistics, children from affluent families tend to do better in school, increasing the education gap further. I think this is rather a saddening situation. Of course, I feel like we've always known for years. It's been that like that. The situation honestly has always been like that. If you're from a well-to-do family, you will know that I feel like life gets easier for you everywhere you go. It's like what they say, money talks. But then for those who do not have money at all, it is rather like they have to strive for everything. But then it's not supposed to be like that. But suddenly, rather sadly, that is the reality on the ground.
Alright, still on the front page, Admark closed shops says sold out of allocated maize in the first phase, and partly the story says State Produce Trade Agricultural Development and Marketing Corporation Admark has said it is targeting October end to complete selling maize in the first phase since its market reopened in August this year. So far, according to Admark Director General Daniel Makata, the institution has dispersed 9,000 metric tons to its depots and is hoping that the Palastato will have completed sale of 12,640 metric tons by the end of this month.
Okay, you have any more local stories before we go to business?
No, we can go to business.
Okay, I will take one here. A headline reads 1.6 trillion kwacha needed for MIP1 first pillar. And part of the story reads that National Planning Commission NPC Director General Thomas Mutali has said Malawi needs at least 1.6 trillion kwacha to implement strategic and catalytic interventions of the first pillar of the first 10-year Malawi Implementation Plan MIP1. Muntali was speaking at the start of the 2023 Financial Market Dealers Association conference held under the theme of the role of financial markets in the attainment of MIP1 Pillar 1, agricultural productivity and commercialization.
Right at the business segment of the Nation newspaper, Nakala Corridor under spotlight. Transport and logistics players say there is need for more investment if Malawi is to capitalize on the Nakala Development Corridor. The government of Malawi on October 6 this year signed a trilateral agreement with the governments of Zambia and Mozambique to manage the Nakala Corridor and transport their cargo along the route to create economic opportunities for people in the three countries. The leaders of the three countries believe that the port is a solution to landlocked countries and would offer substantial benefits, including reduced transportation time and cost, considering Nakala's proximity to Malawi. Right, our revenue decline amid rising fiscal deficit, and partly the story says the revenues collected by Treasury declined by 28.9 billion kwacha to 217.7 million kwacha in August 2023, representing a 11.7% fall, published the Reserve Bank of Malawi RBM data shows. The decrease primarily driven a 20.8% decline in tax revenues comes in the wake of a widening fiscal deficit recorded at 97.1 billion kwacha during the month under review.
Okay, unfortunately I don't have any foreign news in the daily times, so you might go ahead.
Alright, Madagascar opposition protest institutional coup. A coalition of 11 opposition contenders in the Madagascar's forthcoming presidential election yesterday gathered in the capital, Antananarivo, to protest against what they called institutional coup ahead of the next month's presidential election. African News reported that Malagasy opposition, which has been protesting for over 2 weeks, vowed to keep up the pressure in the streets after that country's High Constitutional Court rejected 3 appeals calling for incumbent President Andry Rajoelina's candidacy to be invalidated for not having Malagasy nationality.
Alright, moving on to entertainment news, that's arts and culture. Headline here reads artists sing for mothers, and part of the story reads that Hotel Paradise and Luntha turned out to be a hive of compliments from others as artists delivered performances during the Mother's Day live concert organized by Classic Events Management. The performances at the venue that has hosted numerous gigs in the past year settled on the eve of Mother's Day and went all the way to the wee hours of Mother's Day, with radio group Black Missionaries treating the impressive audience to their Kalimba albums. I think you will agree with me to say that this weekend has been packed with entertainment.
Yes,
It's been, I feel like, one of the most busiest weekends in this year, and as far as I can remember, because just yesterday and one day, on the 15th of October, being Mother's Day, there's been so much that has been happening, like in celebrating mothers, so much so that I feel like for someone who wants to go out there, I don't know how some people had to choose to say, where do I go? Like you wish, I feel like it was that kind of situation where you wish to be at 2 places at once. But then I feel like it was a good thing. People had fun, people had choices. If you don't have much money, you can choose where to go where you think you can actually afford.
Yeah,
so
it was bad.
All in all, it must have been a good one for those who actually attended the events.
Alright, Chief Ponders establishing Kachila Museum, the Chewa Heritage Foundation Chefo has embarked on fundraising activities to establish a Kachila Museum to preserve Chewa history. Chefo Chairperson Stwani Kaila said it is during a fundraising event at Silver Stadium in Lilongwe on Saturday. Kaila said casual events are meant to remind one another the values and beliefs of a particular culture, but this is some once a year, so there is needed to have a place where people can go and access historical information or exhibits.
Okay, do you have any more locals before we go to sports? Okay, now moving on to the back page of our sports, the sports page. The headline here reads, "It has come home." Some headlines read, "Scorchers win Kasafa Cup for the first time, Malawi 2, Zambia 1. And part of the story reads that at long last, Malawi women's national football team, the Scorchers, produced a vintage performance to win the 2023 Hollywood Bets Kasafa Women's Championship after beating Zambia 2-1 at Lucas Moribe Stadium in Atteridgeville Township, Pretoria, South Africa, yesterday. I think this is something everyone has heard about last evening.
Yes.
Like, it's amazing. It's historical. I think it's the first time that Malawi has won this, and it was an amazing performance.
Yes.
Honestly,
Yeah,
it was an amazing performance, and personally, I have been saying time and time again to say, as a country, we really need to invest in the sports.
Yes.
They really do know how to make us
Yeah,
proud,
yeah.
and for them to actually perform like this, and it's ever since this competition started, they've never lost again.
Yeah.
It's been a clean slate through and through, and I think that is amazing. It only goes to show how much talent we do have in the women's football team, and I feel like they would actually help they would actually help us to take us to greater heights if we actually invested more in them. I'm not saying that advert teams are not doing it, but in comparison, they are the best.
All right, Temwa wins Player of the Tony Golden Boot Awards, and partly the story says Kuja standing captain Temwa Jawinga underlined her credentials as the best player at the 2023 Hollywood Bait Crossover Championship in South Africa yesterday, when she scooped both the Player of the Tournament and Golden Boot Awards. The China-based prolific forward won the Golden Boot with 9 goals, 4 more than her runner-up Tumberili Shamasi of South Africa, while Zambia's Sarah Jelly was third with 4 goals.
I mean, she's also one of the most amazing talents that we have in the country, together with her sister Luntha. And I must say, they're making us very proud.
Very proud.
Okay, still on local sports, the headline here is Sulom bemoans violence, and part of the story reads that the Super League of Malawi Sulom President Fleetwood Haiya has condemned acts of violence that marred the end of the 10 and Super League match between the Dynamos, Salima Sugar and Miale Barracks against the stadium on Saturday. Ugly scenes of violence erupted soon after the final whistle, and 2 Miale players, Timothy Miranda and Chifundo Ndamba, sustained injuries, while the team bus has some of its windows broken after the aftermath. I don't know. I know, remember, but the emotions are always high when it comes to Dila, and that we all support teams, Sebastiana, and honestly, it's always good to understand that you win some, you lose some. You can't always win, that's not possible. But then the fact that you think that somehow resorting to violence is going to solve everything, I have never understood that. And at the end of the day, it keeps hurting people.
Yes.
You know, players being hurt by something that they didn't even start. It's always supporters who are starting these things, and I don't know what or how we can actually put an end to this. Otherwise, it's actually getting out of hand.
Yeah, and it always
exactly, because you look at Mabasi, so they have to start all over again to buy these things, and who knows what else has been rooted.
Right, Nomads Bibon Farms failure to engage a lawyer for appeal case. And partly the story says Mighty Mukulu Wanderers have lamented Farm Competitions Committee's failure to engage a lawyer for the Nomads appeal case against determinations by the committee on their abandoned heir to the top 8 quarterfinal against the Silver Strikers. The Nomads appeal was held on Saturday in Blantyre by the Football Association of Malawi Farm Appeals Committee. It followed the Competitions Committee's decision to award the match to Silver by a 2-0 margin after finding Wanderers guilty of causing the abandonment.
Okay, that also brings us to the end of what we had for you in this edition of Press Review for today, Monday, the 16th of October in the year 2023. We took you through some of the stories that were appearing in our newspapers, that is the Daily Times and the Nation, and of course we could not go into all the details. So if you want to know more details to the stories that we read, and some of which we could not, do make sure to get yourself the papers, with each going at the price of 1,200 kwacha. And you have anything you want to say?
No.
Oh, and also I know that we're still in the Mother's Day season, and I know that, of course, initially it's celebrated on the 15th of October, but just wanted to say a happy Mother's Day to all mothers in the country, and of course all around the world. You're amazing, and thank you for being our pillars. And you've been with me, Tandy Mzimara, and my colleague
Charity Jalanga.
Have a lovely Monday.